Arch would have been devastated as well, because this is a place that he not only supported, prayed for, and wanted to see as the repository of the democracy that he worked so hard for. But notwithstanding the damage that has been caused to the National Assembly, the work of Parliament will carry on. The National Speaker is on her way from the Eastern Cape. She couldn't get a flight. She's now driving down here. I spoke to her earlier. She's making all efforts to be here. And I'd like to thank the Premier of the Western Cape for all the efforts in terms of mobilizing the help that we have needed here, as well as the Minister, Minister Delil, who have been on site right from the beginning, and Minister Kongobele and Deputy Minister Kodwa came to brief me and tell me what is unfolding here. The praise and the applause must really go to the fire officials of the city. They have, let's give them a round of applause. They have done a fantastic job. Had they not responded in the 6 minutes that they tell me they responded with, I think we would be talking about the National Assembly and the Council of House of Provinces being in ashes, complete ashes. They intervened at the right time. It does seem like the sprinkler system did not work as it was supposed to, but their appearance and their coming here has saved a very important national asset of our government. This is a national key asset, and of course we are still going to go into what caused the fire, and the fire having started in the old assembly, how it then moved to the National Assembly is something that will still be investigated. I believe somebody is being held right now and they are being questioned. But we need to go a lot deeper into how this type of event can take place and what measures we will need to take going forward. But for now, I think we should be grateful that the National Assembly, Parliament has not been razed to ashes and to the floor. Our key officials who are always there on guard, on call, have really acted with great capability and speed, and we thank them. And we also thank them for having mobilized the number of units and also the vehicles that they laid out here. It does show that there are certain things that do work, even as we may think that the wheels are coming off on everything. But the fact that they were here in a short space of time is something that we should be grateful for, that we do have a city that works, we do have a province that works, and we do have a government that works when the chips are down. And this is a demonstration of precisely that. So much as it is disappointing, devastating, there is something that we can be grateful for these men and women in uniform who go into the most dangerous places that you can ever think of, risking their limb and their lives. And so we thank them, and thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Now we can go
Go. We finish now, please. No. Hold on the roof, the yellow line.
You're right.
Thank you. Thank you. What? I give you space. I give you
The president of the country, President Cyril Ramaphosa, just briefed the media outside the parliament, saying we should be grateful that the National Assembly was not erased into ashes, and also thanking the Western Cape governance for their swift reaction to this particular event that took place here today. A raging fire gutting the National Council of Provinces and the National Assembly. Fire which started here at 6 a.m. in the morning. We understand the fire is still ongoing inside the National Assembly. It has caused an extensive damage. We do know that in the NCOP, the fire did not actually really damage that particular structure, but they cannot gain access, they cannot gain entry at the moment because it is waterlogged. They believe that water damage is extensive there. But the National Assembly, as it was said by the member of Mayoral Committee in the city of Cape Town, J.P. Smith, that the damage is quite extensive inside here.
You guys want to speak to Jermaine? Okay,
inside
the
National Assembly.
Thank you. Bye.
The president is making his way so he can be briefed further, so he can see the damage inside here. But we do know that the fire has gutted the third floor on the old assembly, which is the National NCOP, including the office space and the gymnasium. The roof of the old assembly building has collapsed and it is gone, as per the information that we got from J.P. Smith. And also, like I said earlier on, the chamber, the old chamber, does not seem to be damaged, although they cannot gain access there. But it looks like the fire has really ravaged the National Assembly, which was supposed to hold the State of the Nation address only a month from now. But they did not allow media any chance to ask some questions to the president, but they only allowed the president to come and talk to the media, saying what happened here is devastating. It is quite a calamity, but he is thankful that the building was not erased to the ground, and also thanking the cooperation of the firefighting services here today. The president has made his way inside. He'll be briefed by the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Patricia de Lille. The Western Cape Premier is there as well. And also, Fire and Rescue Services, they are also inside there. So they'll be briefing the president as to what is the extent of the damage and that will happen. He also did say that the national speaker is in the Eastern Cape, could not find a flight, but is driving back and will certainly be here in no time from now. And also the members of the National Assembly did come out to address the media earlier on. We posed some of the important questions that have been raised by various stakeholders. We know Nehawu was very concerned about the fact that government made a pronouncement that some of the security personnel inside here will not be able to work on weekends and on public holidays. They say that strangely this has happened, but the members of the National Assembly saying they do not want to entertain such rumors for now. What they want to do is to contain the fire because, as they said, the response from the Fire and Rescue Services took approximately 6 minutes for them to get here. So by that statement, they're trying to say that even though security personnel were on duty, nothing, not much of a change, of a difference they were going to make. Various questions are being raised also about the level of security inside the parliament, but the members are calling it an accident that has occurred here inside the parliamentary precinct. The president said the investigations will determine what sort of stringent measures will be taken, and also the response to what has happened here. It will be informed by the forensic response that they will be getting from various stakeholders. If I may step outside at the shot as well, just to show you some of the trucks and vehicles of rescue and services making their way inside here. We do know that this precinct is surrounded by quite important buildings. This is the national key point. Nehawu also voicing some of their grievances there, saying the national key point cannot be left unguarded 24/7. Just because of budgetary constraints, because now the extent of the damage that has been caused is quite enormous. Fire and rescue services are trying to go inside to make sure that they extinguish that blaze, which has been raging since the morning. The National Assembly is still standing. We understand that the building or the roofing is still intact. That is quite hope right there. So we'll be getting those. I'll also ask my colleague if he can just pan to his left, just to show you that more trucks are lining up to go inside. Because fire has not completely been extinguished in the National Assembly. More personnel, more manpower has been asked to come through. So they will be coming through, they will be making their way inside to try and assist to make sure that the blaze is contained and it is curtailed. The president of the country was here in Cape Town in his house as well. He asked the minister if he can make his way as well to come and assess the fire. I'll just ask my colleague maybe one more time to just zoom in to show you what the blaze has done to the National Assembly. In a month from now, 10th of February, joint sitting of Parliament was supposed to take place. National Assembly together with the National Council of Provinces to come and listen to the roadmap of the year ahead that the President was going to deliver. Some important sittings were supposed to take place here. We understand that Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo did say that he was also ready to table the first part of his investigation of the state capture inquiry. It was going to happen here. The debates, some of the robust debates were going to take place here. But now we will wait for that, quite a popular term today, assessment. They will inform us what will happen. Members of Parliament also saying we need to rely on them for information because there are quite concerns coming from various parts as per how the fire started and how the fire was contained. So these are quite the concerns that are here on the ground. The President is here. Some of the members of Parliament are here. We are waiting for the Speaker of Parliament, Mamunos Mapisa Ngakula, will be making her way. We understand she is driving from the Eastern Cape to brief us about the extent of the damage that was caused by the fire here in the National Assembly. Back to you, studio.
All right, let's take a quick ad break. We'll continue with more news and updates on the other side. Of course, our reporter Tule Joka is outside Parliament Precinct giving us the latest regarding the fire that's burning us here today.
Good afternoon to you, Lisa. Good afternoon to the viewers at home. Thank you for being here today. Let
me start off by firstly wishing you Happy New Year. I dare say happy amidst what is currently transpiring in Parliament with that fire that's broken out. But I think to get into the nitty-gritties of everything, let's just look at President Cyril Ramaphosa, in fact, who will be formally receiving the first part of the interim report into